For 1,000 years, the area of Þingvellir has been famous for being where the Icelandic Parliament was founded. But there is another story, a story of an evil presence that once cast its shadow over these lands. Jora in Joru Cave. Jora kept running until she found a cave in the volcano of Hengill, overlooking the beautiful Parliament Lake of Þingvellir.
This will be my new home.
Jora lived in the cave and became the most infamous troll in Iceland, killing man and beast without mercy and feasting on their flesh.
Yeah, we have plenty of evidence about the Gaelic contribution to Iceland at the early stages in the settlement period. First, there were Irish hermits already in the land before the Norse settlement in the late 9th century. The Irish hermits are both written on in Irish documents, Irish books, and Old English. Bede remembers them, that they were traveling to Iceland, to what they called Thule at the time, Ultima Thule. And then the Norsemen arrived in the late 9th century, both directly from Norway and from the British Isles, where they were marrying local women and capturing slaves and trading them on the slave market in Dublin, where an immense amount of silver flowed through, probably as a result of the slave trade. And then they all came here and settled in a new land, creating a new society that was quite multicultural at the time, with all this Gaelic Norse mix. And we believe that the major contribution from the Gaelic side was in the verbal arts, folk belief and ideas about storytelling and poetry making, and that the professional poets that started to come out of Iceland, bringing out the earliest export from Iceland to Scandinavia, which was poetry, they were inspired by the Gaelic contribution to the Icelandic culture. So that created a difference, a uniqueness among the people that survived into the Middle Ages, when people started writing in the 12th and 13th centuries, using the oral storytelling traditions and professional poetry to create very different literary genres from what they could read in the clerical books that the church brought with them. The stories that we now call the sagas, the family sagas, and other sagas about life in the Viking world, that were all told and retold and ultimately reshaped into writing in Iceland in the 13th and 14th centuries.